Hi everyone. A few days ago, we had the Tata Steel Chess 2026 come to an end, and it was an amazing event for Nodirbek Abdusattorov. We saw how he dominated in the Masters section, but in the Challengers section was one guy, very young, born in 2010, 15 years old, Andy Woodward, who managed to come out on top ahead of rest of the field, and he played incredible chess, very fighting chess. In fact, he scored 10 points out of 13, and you can see that there were only two draws, many decisive games, and he finished ahead of an amazing field that had Vasily Ivanchuk, Aydin Suleymanli, Marc-Andrea Maurizzi, and many other great players. And it gives me a lot of pleasure today to have Andy Woodward here. Hello, Andy.
Hi.
Andy, so nice to finally meet you online, do an interview with you. I've been following your amazing run in the world of chess recently. You've been doing brilliantly.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. First of all, it's great to be here and finally get to meet you. Yeah, I guess recently I have had quite a good string of tournaments, so yeah, I'm pretty happy about that.
What would you say is the secret to it? Because even in the Grand Swiss tournament, you managed to perform amazingly well. I think you beat Levon Aronian, you beat Parham Maksudlu. You performed at like close to 2800 elo there.
Yeah. I mean, probably a lot to do with it was just, I guess, a boost of confidence. Probably other than that, I feel like my play was relatively similar to usual. But yeah, I guess, of course, also quite a bit of luck is needed. But yeah, in general, I guess, yeah, I'm pretty happy about how things have gone.
So you are just 15 years old, right? And you're already close to 2630, 2640 on the live rating list. How how is it for you? Like, are you able to sort of focus on chess completely? Is there school as well for you?
Yeah, I'm trying to do as much chess as I can. I am also doing school on the side, but I'm homeschooled, so I have
Hmm.
quite a bit more flexibility for traveling and tournament schedule. So yeah, I guess I'm trying to keep up with my studies as well as chess.
And right now, like, you are in this phase where you're playing a lot. You went to Wijk Aan Zee this year, and
Mhm.
you managed to win the challengers section. How was that experience?
Yeah, the experience was really great. Um, I was able before the tournament to attend a training session. With Alex Tonin from Kasparov Foundation, and we, I guess, sharpened my calculation a little bit before the tournament, and then
Whom
I
did you
had to
work
go
with
there for another.
during that period?
Alexander, Alexander Tonin.
Oh,
He's
Chernin.
a
Okay, yeah, I know
yeah
him. Yes.
grandmaster. Yeah. So we worked on calculation, and then I went there. So it was a pretty long trip, about a month long. But yeah, I guess in general it was a really great experience, a nice town as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there last year, and it's such
Uh,
a interesting place because there are so few people. Either you really
mhm.
enjoy it or you get really lonely there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to have some people to talk to, I feel like. So
Who was with you over there?
I traveled there with my mom. So yeah, I
So
guess also there were a couple other Americans that went, but yeah,
yes,
I just went with my mom.
there was Carissa who was playing in your section, and there was also Hans who was playing in the open. And
Mhm.
actually, I was also looking through some of the pictures here, and I saw that you had worked with Gary Kasparov at some point. When was that? And because when you won, also Kasparov tweeted about it.
Mhm. Yeah, that picture was taken in mid-December at the training session in New York. So yeah, I guess uh we have like training sessions in person, I guess 2 times a year in December and in June, and then we kind of check how things go and I guess see what to work on, and then train a little bit, of course. But yeah, I guess just in general, like having someone like Gary watching your games and knowing who you are and following your progress, it's really an honor to
Mm.
have someone like him watch my games.
So when you said December, it was December 25 when that, so very recently.
Yeah, I think yeah, December 25,
Oh,
yes.
wow. So
Yeah.
you've been some of the guidance there. Do you have like a permanent trainer or do you have like a coach?
I don't have a personal coach at the moment. I'm working with I guess two coaches from Kasparov Chess Foundation for online lessons, I guess, for openings, I guess. Motilov, Alexander from Romania, and Alex Huzman from Israel. But yeah, I guess in general, yeah, we've been working quite a bit, and I'm grateful for Kasparov Chess Foundation's help for that. So
Amazing. And where do you live in the US?
I live in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, wow. Were you? I was actually in Texas for the India USA match. It was in
Mhm.
Arlington. I don't think you were there, or
Yes,
you were there, right? You were playing with the
I was
crowd,
there.
and
Yeah,
you were. I couldn't meet you at that point.
yeah, yeah. I was there. I got to like watch the event. I played with some fans as well. Yeah, and I guess I got to watch the event. It was really, really fun, and it was a really great experience as well. So that was really fun.
Right.
Mm.
And actually, I was connected to you, like the person who helped me connect to you is Grandmaster Harshit Raja, because he is a very good friend. And I think he played with you maybe a year ago or something. And I
Mm.
think he won that game. But he told me, like,
Mm.
this, watch out for him, watch out for Andy Woodward. He's very, very good.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that game. I think it was probably like March of 2024. He
Hmm.
played really well, and yeah, I guess he deserved that win. So yeah, it was a good game.
Amazing. So I wanted to go through some of your games from the Challengers tournament. I mean, there are 13 of them, and there's a lot to
Mhm.
cover. But I would just like to get your thoughts because, going through your games, I couldn't really understand your playing style so well, which is actually,
Yeah.
I mean, a compliment because in some positions there were aggressive positions you played well, some were endgame grinds you did amazingly well, some were positional games, like it was all mixed up.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I have a bit of a universal style. I don't really have I'm not really specifically good at something or another. I feel like I have like some games where I'm good at this, some other games I'm good at that. Sometimes I make really simple blunders, other times I make deep blunders. So yeah, I guess in general I have like a bit of a randomized style. So yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Very cool. Let's have a look at some of the games, and we can. I mean, what was very interesting for me is that the first round itself you lost over here, which is generally very tough to make a comeback, but you managed to do that. And in fact, in this game, you were better at some point. It was not like you were losing. It was like you were close to winning.
Hmm. Yeah, I think at one point it was even -5.
Yes.
Um, it was quite. I just had to play one move and then I would have won. But yeah, I guess this game was very. I guess my time management was bad in this game, and the new time control is like
Mm.
2 hours 40 moves with no increment. So I wasn't really used to this time control, and I would spend a lot of time towards the beginning of the game, and I was kind of in a way punished for it at the end. But yeah, I guess I was still trying to figure things out at this point. But I think it was a good wake up call that I need to watch out for my
Mm.
time management.
That's a good way to look at it. And we joined the game at this point where she played b5 and you got in
Mhm.
c5. Okay, the d5 pawn is weak, but you had this move prepared, which was g4,
Mhm.
and it gives like a huge advantage to black. Can you explain like why is black so much better here?
Yeah, I guess there's a few factors probably. I guess the first factor is I guess White's only up one pawn for the moment. But White's king is under attack and all blacks both of black's bishops and his knight and queen are ready to join the attack. Um okay, for the moment, White's knight and pawn are under pressure, I guess. So she already has to like make a decision. There's a move DE6, which looks quite interesting. It's like trying to pick up another pawn, but after G takes F3, E takes D7, Queen G5, Black um gets pretty much what they want. They attack G2 threat and mate, and it's already very, very bad for White. So yeah, I guess she kind of has to ruin her pawn structure if she wants to take the pawn. So after like g4, she played knight e1, I think.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. She went
Tata.
knight e1,
Um,
and then
yeah,
you went
and
e5.
I made a mistake with e5, but it's a bit of a not easy to spot mistake. It's more of like a positional mistake than a tactical one. It was better to capture on d4 first and then play e5 because White's pieces are a bit less coordinated, and Black has this extra idea of e4, e3 now. So, but yeah, what I did with e5 was still quite strong. And then yeah, hg4, cd4, ed4,
You got what
e4.
you wanted actually.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess it's kind of difficult to evaluate the position in a way, but Black should have a pretty clear advantage because I guess you can just tell by looking at White's pieces. They're all clumped up on the queen side, like the queen on b3, rooks on c1, d1, bishop on e1, knight on e1. They're all like passive, while Black's pieces are all targeting White's king still. So yeah, I guess after a few moves, I think yeah, e3, g5, e2, king f2. Here I made a crucial mistake with knight f6.
You could have given a
I
check,
should
right?
give it a check first. Yeah, get out the queen and then bring the knight behind.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess that was a pretty critical mistake. I guess if king f1, then I go knight f6. And if knight f3, queen h1. So king f2, knight g4. So black should be winning here.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I guess, but I didn't miss it, I feel like, because it seems like a quite easy move to miss, but I feel like I started my focus on the move knight f6, and then it kind of like attracted me, and I didn't really consider other moves. But then it was already too late. So yeah, she defended quite well already after knight f6, knight f3, knight g4, king f1, queen e3, and then she played an important move, queen a2. If queen b2, black has this move, bishop takes a3,
Ah, nice.
um, decoy, and then picking up the rook. So. Yeah, I guess it's already this queen a2 move was a bit shocking for me at first, and then I realized that oh wait, maybe I already messed up a little bit. But yeah, I played a bit of more inaccurate moves, rook a e8, queen f4, but she defended again quite strong. And then again at one point a few moves later, after rook d1. I had another chance. Queen g5 check was good. King f1. And here I
Yes.
should play
Bishop
bishop
g3,
g3.
right?
Yes. And the point is if queen g2, then black goes rook e3. So in the case of knight e2, black can play bishop takes d5, followed by rook takes f3 on the next move, which is pretty much inevitable. And if white plays knight e4 instead of knight e2, then black has queen f4, and he is still winning. So,
Mm.
followed by rook f3 again. So, yeah, I guess this was my last chance to get something. But yeah, after this, when I played queen h5, I kind of immediately realized that I kind of messed up. And then after bishop e4, I made a quite desperate blunder with seconds left on the clock, forgetting that she could just take with the bishop, and have nothing special along the h file. So
So you were hoping
yeah,
for like something like this to happen.
yes, here it should be a draw. Yeah, but yeah, bishop d5 does simply nothing. So yeah, that was a bit of an unfortunate end to the game. But
How do you take such a loss? Because it's kind of heartbreaking, and many players start to sort of think like, "Oh, this tournament is not really going the way I wanted it to be." I mean, clearly it's a long event, but still,
mhm.
do how did you recover, or what do you say to yourself after such a game?
Yeah, I remember, of course, after the game, I was very devastated. I knew I had to have been winning. I didn't feel too bad about the game until I checked with the engine and saw that I was. Like I did have a very clear win with Queen H4, but in general, I came to the conclusion that okay, well, um, it's just been one game. There's still 12 more games to go. It's a really long tournament. Seems like stamina towards the end of the tournament is quite huge, because lots of people start to collapse towards the end, and other people also start to thrive at the end. So,
Mm,
yeah, I guess I just kept in mind that there was still a really long amount of games, really huge amount of games to go, and one game wouldn't define the tournament. So that pretty much helped me,
mm.
I guess, in the second half.
Does your mother help you psychologically when she's with you?
Yeah, she helps, I guess, when after I lose. Of course, typically probably upset at first, but then of course there's still like a long way to go. So she's good at motivating and keeping me focused for the next games. Typically I tend to get a bit distracted after one game or something. I get quite annoyed and then start wanting to like play blitz or something because I'm quite tilted about the game. But yeah, I guess she keeps me focused and
Mm.
confident for the rest of the games. So that's really great, for me.
Amazing. Uh, you are very good at online chess as well, right? I was just looking at it, and there's something called as the puzzle solving competition on chess.com,
Mhm.
and you've actually won it.
Mhm.
And I think
Yeah.
that's not easy to win. And I guess Ray Robson is a big expert at it, and you managed to beat him as well.
Yeah, of course, he's probably like the living legend of puzzle battle.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult to beat him. I think it did take a little bit of luck that one time, but yeah, I guess puzzle solving online, a mix of solving and mouse speed, of course. But in general, it's quite one of my strengths, probably,
Mhm.
for chess,
So in a
and I
way,
enjoy it as well.
you're very good tactically. Would it be right to say that?
Sure. Yeah, I guess probably simple tactics,
Mm.
like spotting simple tactics fast. So that's probably one of my strengths. Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look at the next game because I think there were some nice nice tactics there. You were playing against Eline Roebers, and you managed to win a
Mhm.
very nice game. We joined here. You played the Catalan here, and already this position looks very nice for you, right?
Mhm. Yeah. I vaguely remembered um that after H full, I think H full is a novelty. Knight BD7 was the move for black. Not the best move, but I remembered it was a move. And after Knight D7, E5 black had to be a bit precise. But I knew C5 wasn't the move, so I guess that was enough for me to realize that I had something. Okay, I didn't play the most precise way. With bishop g5 because d5 was apparently winning. Uh, yeah, I guess point being just knight e5, I can just take on b5. And white position is just crushing. Black doesn't have enough time to develop.
And if bishop
For example, if
d5.
bishop d5, ed5, rook e1. And white just wins along the e file. So yeah, I guess that was probably something I missed, but yeah, bishop g5 was still quite strong. Yeah, I guess bishop e7, bishop a8, queen a8, knight b5, queen a5. And here I think when she played queen a5, she missed this idea of bishop e7, king e7, and dc5. Because it's kind of difficult to see this from a distance. Yeah, the point is he'll either move like king e8, rook a1. If queen b8, then I guess king d8 is also a move
Okay.
instead of king e8. So if c6, then queen d5, and black can still survive a little while. Rook d1 is still quite strong, but after queen d6, rook d6, black has some survival chances after king c7. So probably best is rook a1 after king d8. And then queen b8, c6,
It's a nice one.
queen d6, ed6. Yes, this was my intention. Knight b6, rook a6, knight c8, rook a8, and black's just paralyzed. White's plan isn't to pick up the knight with d7, but just to play like f3, king f2, king e3, and
Nice.
go pick up the pawns because black can't ever support his king and knight. So yeah, I guess that was quite nice.
Very cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so she played knight e5. And here I started to mess up a little bit. Queen d6 was good, forcing king f6, and then here was a critical moment. So my first intention was to play knight c7, cutting off rook d8 ideas, but this fails only to the move queen d2. And I saw this resource, and it basically equalizes instantly. Point being queen d2, knight f3.
Right.
So yeah, I guess once I saw this, I was like, oh wait, maybe knight c7 doesn't work. And then I started looking at knight c3, kind of overlooking the idea of f4, which is, I guess,
f4 was winning on the spot, right?
yes. Yeah, f4, I missed this idea completely actually. Basically, like if the knight moves to somewhere like g4, the point is to go f5. And fe6 is coming, and black's king is very, very weak. Knight e3 can be met by queen d4. So yeah, I guess this was pretty much game over with f4, but I missed it. I played knight c3, and this let her back in the game. I was quite lucky that she played queen d8, because rook d8 was actually holding. I had seen rook d8, but for some reason, after knight d5 check, I thought, okay, I saw king f5 lost to knight e3, king f6, queen takes e5 check, and knight takes c4.
Oh. Some nice knight
Yeah,
pokes here, yeah?
yes, yeah. But she does have this option after knight e3, king g6, knight d5, king g6. And if knight f4, king
Knight takes here.
f5.
This
Okay, yeah,
is
queen e5 is also one of the main it's like h5, king g5. But I guess I thought knight f4 in the game. At least that was my first intention.
Mm-hmm.
But black has king f5, queen e7, h6, an important move. And then his
Stopping.
king's completely safe. King's completely safe. So yeah, I guess I kind of missed this concept. And after this, it's already equal. So who knows how the game would have went if this happened. But
Wow. This would
yeah, I
have
guess I was
this if this would have happened, you would have been very upset because then it's two games in a row
yes,
that you were totally winning.
yeah. hmm Yeah, it would have been very, very painful, I'm sure. I'm not sure if I would have been able to recover. So yeah, this was a bit of a lucky moment. Yeah, I guess here knight d5, king f5, g4 is the idea that she missed.
Mm.
Um, so knight g4, queen f4, and then we pick up the knight, g4. So king takes g4 is pretty much only move, and then queen e5. So the point is if queen d5, like goes queen g7, and if king h3, queen g3 is mate. But if king h4, we take the rook, and black doesn't have perpetual queen g5, king h1, and f3. So yeah, I guess this was a bit lucky. So ed5 was forced, and then here I have forced mate with king f2. So
Nice.
yeah, this was probably a nice way to win.
This is what you were talking about, right? This G4 check is like those little tactics that little calculations which you are really, really good at spotting them.
Yeah, probably something like this. Yeah. Mm.
And how did you get so good at it? Was it by solving a lot of such positions or like doing maybe something like Puzzle Rush or what's the secret there?
Yeah, I think it's probably a mix of all the different tactical things that I've done in my training. I've done lots of yeah, I've done some quite a bit of Puzzle Rush, but probably one thing that helped me the most was studies, solving lots of in-game studies, especially towards the earlier days of my chess improvement. When I was as low as maybe like 1600, I started solving studies, and I used solving lots of studies as part of my daily routine. Um, and I think it helped my pattern recognition for especially knights uh, quite strong. So I guess just having the ability to probably spot tactical patterns and implement them is probably something that was developed over studies.
Wow. Was there like some book or something that you used for studies?
Yeah, probably the one that I remember the most was 2545 Domination.
By
It
Kasparian.
was yeah, by Kasparov, yes. I remember doing these studies basically all day, every day when I
Wow.
had time. I loved these studies. Something about them really captivated my focus. But yeah, I guess this book in particular is probably the one that I spent
Hmm.
most of my time on.
Yeah, I think this book is just incredible with you get to know the true potential of every piece in a given position,
Yeah,
right? They can dominate
yes.
anything.
hmm hmm
So very
Yeah,
cool.
it was really great. Yeah, I
Okay.
loved it.
Going to the next game, you were playing against Liu Miaoyi. She is a strong player from China. And what was your routine like in this tournament? Were you like preparing really hard for each game? Because I think the games would end around 8 p.m. or so there. Then you grab dinner
Mhm.
because not many
Yeah,
restaurants are open late night there.
yeah. Yeah, my routine was probably I would wake up sometime around like 8:30 to 9. And then I would go down, eat a little breakfast, and then I would have like some short preparation lesson, talk with my coach, I guess, for the tournament, and then we would discuss. the plan.
This would be
What I
Chernin,
plan
yes?
to play.
With whom
Um,
you.
for the for, for this tournament, I used mainly Huseman
Hmm.
as my opening propel, or at least before my games. I chatted with Huseman the most probably. Um, so yeah, I guess I'd probably do that. I would have a little maybe 15, 30 minute chat with him. And then I would review lines until lunch probably. And then have a small like smoothie. I didn't eat much lunch because the game started at 2 o'clock.
Yes.
So um there wasn't really a good time to eat meals specifically. So we had to try to figure out a schedule for that too. But yeah, I guess after I finished my game, my mom actually bought a pot, so she was cooking
Oh,
food from the local grocery store stall. So yeah, I guess we mainly ate in the hotel, so we didn't have to get out and spend a lot of time looking for a restaurant or eating out. So that was very convenient for me.
wow.
Yeah. So that's pretty much my
Actually,
schedule. And then
your mom cooking is very cool because that's how many of the Indian youngsters also have done in the past. For example, Prag's
uh-huh.
mother has cooked for him, and I think they've really liked this part where they can get sort of home food when they're traveling.
Yes. Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, I don't know. I like it a lot that my mom takes the time to cook for me. I mean, not many people have that luxury,
Hmm.
so I'm very lucky that she does that for me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look at this one. And here you actually had a position which was, I thought that it was kind of complicated. I mean, it
Hmm.
looks like your knight on d4 is really good, but she was like rushing with her pawns on the king side. So it must be quite
Hmm.
a tense game.
Yeah. I guess I didn't really think anything much of this game until around here. I was actually getting kind of happy that she started playing these moves like F4, F5, F6 because I didn't really see much potential in my position, especially because we were getting close to the time control. So I thought the fact that so I was up about 20 minutes, I think, and then she started pushing. She was down to about a minute, and she started pushing like F4, F5. So I thought, in general, like this should be like very pleasant for me because she has to play moves
Mm.
fast and good moves fast. So yeah, I guess somewhere around here we reached the time
Yes,
control.
this was 40th
Um,
move.
yeah, and I guess when we got to this position, I was like, okay, well, it's not a great position, but it's it's much better than I hoped for, comparing it to move 30. So I was quite happy how the position had transformed since then. And then, yeah, I guess she started thinking quite a bit. Um, And in general, my moves were very easy to make as well. So yeah, this move Bishop A8 caught me by surprise. I think she wanted to remaneuver like Bishop A8, Queen A4, and Queen E4, and
Mm.
Bishop D5, something like this. Um, but yeah, I guess it allows me to play Knight F5. It like lets the queen pass to the other side, and then slide rook e1 and then trap the queen on that side. So
Right.
um, yeah, I've used this technique in a couple of my games already, so I kind of had a little bit of background going into this position. I was like, okay, I know I've done it before, so I can probably do it again. So yeah, I guess
Which was that game
um,
that you remembered at this point?
yeah, I had so one game I had a training game. I don't think it was in the
Mm.
database. Um, and then there was also this idea from this game against Hans Niemann at World Juniors, kind of like shutting out the queen. I played this move B6, after queen takes a7 and oh queen a7, I forgot exactly, but I guess it was just like the whole idea, concept of shutting out the queen. And then I guess that kind of helped me in this position to know uh, that it was a good idea.
Wow.
But yeah, I guess from here it was relatively straightforward. I picked up the pawn on a e5, and then yeah, I guess the knight on d4 is very, very strong. So some tactics as well in mating nets. So
Yeah. And you went on to win this one. So this was now 2 out of 3 for you. And then next round, you were facing an out of form Max Warmerdam, but also a very strong player. So you could not underestimate him.
yeah, and also I tend to specifically in situations like these, I tend to do well, poorly against people who aren't having their best tournaments. Like when they play against me, they always somehow manage to play their best game by fall. So, yeah, I guess I was kind of lucky in this tournament that things were a bit different. But yeah,
Are you someone who feels sad for people whose tournaments are not going well?
yes, I think so. Yeah, I guess. Um, people like to score their wins against me for some reason, but yeah.
But for me, like whatever little time I spent with you and also what we interacted on messages, you come across as someone who's very, very kind, sort of very humble, modest. It's not very common to see these traits. Have you like? Is this something that you were always like this? Did you work on yourself?
I mean, I would like to say I was always like this. I don't know. I didn't really focus on working on it. I guess probably it just came over time. Some sort of, I guess, interacting with um important people kind of already um makes you know that you have to be polite and respectful. So yeah, I guess it just came over time probably.
Sometimes they say like in sports you have to be kind of fierce and you have to be brutal, you can't be too soft. And so does that play in your head?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I try to play by the rules of fight and beat enemies over the board, but then be friends off the board. So I guess I just try to, of course, no matter who you're playing, play your best.
Mm.
Even if they're your friend. We all play chess, so for a reason, and we have to compete against each other sometimes. So yeah, I guess it's important just to um, keep friendships off the board. So I think that's a key part of it as well.
Do you have like really good friends in chess? Who would that be, like your best friends?
Yeah, I have lots of friends, both my age and older. I guess the people my age probably Brewington Holdaway, Abhimanyu Mishra, and then other people like Tanny and Ryochin. So those are probably my major friends in America that are my age. And then outside, there's also people like uh, Yagi Douglas that I have connections with, and also older players. I guess just like people in general, like Carissa Yip, Owen Leon. I'm also friends with them as well. So yeah, I guess I have quite a few friends, which is really nice. So
Brilliant, brilliant. That's so nice to know. uh Going to this one against Max,
mhm.
and you reach this position, and did you really feel you have realistic chances here to win?
Um, honestly, I wasn't too optimistic, but I knew I have nothing to lose. I mean, I didn't really have anything up until this point, so it was kind of like the best position I had gotten. So in general, I was actually quite happy about reaching this position. Seems like I'm winning a pawn
Mm.
pretty much by fulls, and it'll be a long end game. I can also try to press on the clock. So yeah, I guess I was a bit optimistic already at this point. So yeah, um, once he
And
played like F5, I guess it was a bit yeah, like this Rook B6. I think he was defending pretty well. He found some quite nice resources that I had actually forgotten about. But yeah, after in this point, like my initial intention was to play F3.
Mhm.
But then Black could actually just go knight H2, and pick up the pawn that way. Like King G5 fails to knight F3. So
Check.
I had to play King G5 instead. Um, and then knight F2, Rook F6. And then here was probably the critical moment in the game. He played King G7 instantly, but the only move to hold is King E8. Um, with the point if King G6 to go. Wait, I think it was Rook D4. I'm not entirely sure actually.
Mm.
Um,
But this looks already very scary, yeah? Like maybe already F5,
yeah,
H5 maybe, or
yeah.
there might be a check. But
I'm
it
not entirely sure. I feel like it was something along these lines, but somewhere here Black was doing fine.
mm.
Um,
I can switch on. Yeah, Rook D4 is correct maybe. And
yeah,
H5, you go Rook G4 check,
yeah,
King
mhm,
F5 and take this.
mhm, yeah.
And maybe you survive.
I wrote something like this. It was, yeah, Black couldn't survive, but it's already like quite difficult. And then yeah, once he played King G7, it's already uh winning for white because like it's both pawns.
Mm.
And then yeah, I guess here I got a little bit of a mating net. And then Rook B8 was a nice Zugzwang. Not Zugzwang, but it's the general like Rook can't move because of Knight G4, Knight can't move just because it misplaces the position. There's some B5 ideas as well.
But you
And
can go
if King
King
G7, then I
G7.
go. Yeah, King G7 and then Rook B6 was the point to cut off the king, and then we go H5 and push.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, this was a bit of a nice finish. But yeah, after Rook D4, Knight G4, White pushes Black's king to the back rank, so it's winning. So yeah, here he resents. So that was a lucky game for me as well, I guess.
Yeah, well,
Um,
I mean, I don't think it was lucky as such, but I mean, you definitely put a lot of pressure on him throughout the game. That moved you to 3 out of 4 here. And then you played against Vedant from India. And I mean, out of the opening, it seemed like White's position was slightly better, yes?
yeah, he had a quite nice position, in fact. There was some, I took a bit of a risk in the opening. I didn't really know much about the line, but I knew the main line and I knew he would be prepared quite deeply. Yeah, so bishop b4, cd, ed, bishop d3. So typically they play with this queen a5 stuff. But I knew it was a bit of some like long lines. I knew he had prepared specifically for this game
Hmm.
because he hadn't played this before. So I kind of wanted to try to deviate theory a little bit, get something that led to just a game, maybe a bit of a risky position. But yeah, I guess in general it kind of worked out. But yeah, I guess once we got this stuff with F4, I was feeling actually, I guess like I could try to fight. But yeah, I guess here was probably a critical moment. He played knight takes d5, which was a bit of a positional ill. Better was to go g full. But yeah, knight d5, knight d5, e full. I think he missed queen e6, f5, queen f6, ed5, bishop c7. It's kind of difficult to realize, but black's already like on the verge of getting a better position. White already has to play an only move rook e4, with the idea if rook d5, knight g4. And it's not easy at all to play a move like rook e4. It's definitely not the first move that comes into mind.
Right.
White wants to go f6 next, so white should be fine. But yeah, he played queen b4, which is definitely the most natural move. Hitting both c4 and b7. Rook d5, probably queen b7 is the most natural. But here the point is I have queen d6, defending both the rook and the bishop. It doesn't look bad for white at first, but black has already a decisive threat of f6. So like in the case of, let's say, rook d1, defending the pawn, maybe not defending actually. Probably we can take d4 actually in this case, but maybe something else like rook e2 is a bit better to show the idea. Black can play the move f6, attacking the knight. If the knight doesn't defend h2, the knight has to defend h2, and then black goes rook b8, queen a7, rook a5, and the queen's trapped.
Wow.
So yeah, I was a bit unlucky for the queen. So black's already threatening lots of tactical ideas after queen d6 regarding the queen. So he decided to take on c4 instead, and then after queen d6, knight f3, rook f5, the position got a bit more simplified. Isolated pawn, but black has targets the pawn from all different angles. So, yeah, I guess around here I was trying to press on the clock, but yeah, rook e8 was probably the critical mistake. It's not easy to detect that rook e8's a mistake, but I guess here already, white's pawn on d4 is hopeless. Mainly because of this move, queen f5 after rook e4 back. Trading on own conditions. Rook f4, queen f4, queen d1 is pretty much forced, and then g5,
Yeah.
undermining the defense to the pawn. And yeah, from here pretty much won the pawn, and then yeah, pretty much just winning. So yeah, I guess this was another. I guess got a bit lucky in time towards the time control, but yeah, I guess in general it's pretty good game.
Yes.
Some moments here and there that were quite interesting. So yeah.
And after this game, actually, there was a rest day.
Mhm.
I think you were on 4 out of 5. And I think
Yes.
if you lose the first round and then score 4 wins, you're already feeling really good.
Yeah. I don't know. Like in general, looking at my first 5 rounds, I thought probably 4 out of 5. Like before the tournament, I thought 4 out of 5 was a decent score. Like a ideal score going into the rest day. And then even after losing the first round, I still managed to get it. So I was quite happy about that. So yeah, I guess I was a bit confident going into this next portion, 3 games. So yeah. Uh the expulsion was a bit. I knew I was playing my friend Carissa the next
Mm.
round. In general, I wasn't expecting much, just trying to get a game. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. She actually
this
defended.
game reminded me of like maybe Magnus playing with black pieces. He's so good
Yeah.
at queen end games.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure if I played good, but I definitely did move around a lot. I kind of just moved my king all over the place. Um,
Did
yeah,
you
Queen D3
did you
was
just
nice.
think about continuing here? Did you have a plan in mind, or how did you look at this position? Because it's kind of even, right, at this point.
Yeah. So in general, I think White's queen is obviously a bit more passive, defending all the pawns while Black's queen is active, attacking all the pawns. So I guess first, there's actually a little bit of a concrete part. I can play with Queen D3, which traps White's queen already, at least if it wants to keep defending the D5 pawn. And Black already can continue with moves like King F8, King E7, and pick up pawn, guaranteed already. So here I was actually feeling quite confident, but then she proved that Black actually doesn't have anything special. And yeah, I guess my plan here was just to move around and try to like press on the clock, but she was actually playing fast, which was very smart. Um, I didn't really expect that to happen, but then once she started playing fast, I was like, oh wait, I probably actually have to try to find a plan. Um, and then yeah, I guess I played E4 F5, which was a bit dubious. I feel like because now White's has a ton of extra options for checks and ideas, but yeah, I guess I just kept moving around over and over and over again. Um,
Kind of
Eventually, I brought the king all the
tiring
way
out
out.
your opponent, right?
Yes, yeah. At this point, it had already been like 5.5 hours, maybe 6 hours,
Oh.
and we were getting actually very, very close to the 50 move roll.
Hmm.
I was just moving back and forth. I think at this point, it was already, yeah, in this specific point, um, it was already move. Wait, maybe it was. I don't know if it was here.
No,
I
it
feel
was
like,
71st move was F5, so you have to play like
yeah, mhm,
121 moves. You are on 110. But she kept checking,
yeah,
and if you don't make a pawn move or you don't capture, then it's a draw after 50 moves.
yeah.
So you had to play E3, right?
Yeah, those two more moves. Yeah. So it was a bit of a unfortunate moment. Like she can play Queen G7 check. Um,
Ah.
Instead, okay, pretty much anything. Just play something and not allow the pawn push. And like Queen G8 or something. Just anything to not allow pawn push or a check. And then on the next move, play a move and claim. But um, yeah, I guess when she allowed E3, I was like, okay, this is my only chance. And for tactical reasons already, she can't go into the pawn ending because my king's too fast. Yeah, king c6, king c5. And yeah, I'm actually quite a few Timpi ahead,
Right.
I think.
Way ahead.
Um, yeah, so fe3 is already forced. And then queen b1, we get a bit of a structural change. Queen g7. So here, after king c8, probably queen g6 was the first slight step up, misstep. Um, she should play queen g8 and keep checking. Um, it's slightly important to try to, um, I guess, dislocate black's pieces a little bit. Um, but yeah, she took on g6, and then I got this setup where I can push my pawn and guard it with my queen no matter where I check from. And then
I
yeah, I got
was
like queen
checking
c2, a4.
with the engine. I was saying like maybe king G1 or something, or maybe king G2 is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, king g2 was fine. Okay, it's practically already losing.
Hmm.
Yeah, queen e8 was the losing move. The only move to survive is e-fold,
Whoa.
which I mean, I think it's quite evident that no human is ever playing e4 with 30 seconds on the clock to add to it. So yeah, I guess like e4 is just like inhumane completely. Queen
Mm.
e4, king
Maybe it
h2, and it's
was
apparently
meant to dislodge the queen, yeah, or something. I don't know.
yeah. It's and also like opens some other lines, squares like e3 full checks
Mm.
um when the king comes down. So yeah, I guess e4 was like very insane of a move, but yeah, I guess Hiroshi just was very fatigued and collapsed.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know. It was very disappointing to have to win this game against Poland specific. Because okay, like we were friends, and in the end, this would have gotten whole GM final
Oh,
GMO.
yeah. A draw was
This
enough, yeah, for
game,
her.
yeah. In one way or the other, she would have gotten it. So that was a bit sad, but I guess those things have to happen at some point. And she'll obviously get GM very soon. So um, yeah, I guess yeah, those games are very disappointing even
Mm.
when you win. So yeah, I guess in general, of course, I was happy, but yeah, um,
Yeah, these are tough wins. I can imagine. We had Mikhail Abel who was there, and in the commentary, like he was there at Wijk Aan Zee, and he would sometimes join us for commentary, and he told us about this game and how he was there till the very end, and it's
yeah,
always tough at the end of the such a long game for someone who loses.
mhm,
um but
yeah.
yeah, for
Mhm.
for you, I think it was a great win. Now you were on 5 out of 6, and you were playing against Aydin Suleymanli, who was also
Mhm.
having a great tournament actually.
Yeah, I felt like I think I actually forgot. I feel like he also had maybe he had 4.5 out of 6 actually.
Mm.
But I felt like to this point he was playing very, very great chess. And yeah, I guess in general, I wasn't expecting much for this game. Probably try to get some sort of a risk-free position at the opening. But then he played this line, and it was, I guess, naiveful. Got a bit of a fighting game. But yeah, somewhere around here, I guess I kind of realized Queen E3 is probably inaccurate. I should play H5 instead. Try to gain space, and then Queen E3. But yeah, after Queen E3, H5 already. Um,
did
Black
you
had pretty
did you
much,
feel like you were slightly better, or you did not?
yeah. So the engine gives slight edge for white. My opponent also felt I was probably a bit better, but to me, actually, I sensed some like danger in my position. I felt like, especially seeing how the game had toned out from the beginning, I was like +1 just a few moves back, and I could tell I was drifting a bit. I wasn't calculating properly, and like the position wasn't great anymore. So I thought it maybe like if we trade rooks, I could even have some danger regarding the backwards d pawn.
Mm.
So I guess I decided to just not take any risks and try to focus on the next games. So um,
Do you
yeah, I
think
guess it was
it's
a bit more of a in-game moment. So
Mm. To win such a tournament, do you think it's important to have these like sometimes just conserving energy, making these draws?
yeah, I mean, I guess that was another part of it. Probably I felt like the day before I had like a really long game, and this game I knew it would probably help to save energy a little bit. So yeah, I guess probably conserving energy is something big in these long
Mm.
tournaments.
And then you are playing someone who, I mean, when you come to such events, you generally would be the youngest, but here you were playing against someone who was 2 years younger than you,
Yes.
Faustino. And
Yeah.
he was having a good tournament as well. He was playing quite well.
Yeah. I guess in like he un I guess unfortunately he couldn't get a norm heal, but he was obviously trying very hard.
Also, it wouldn't
Yeah, I
have helped
guess
him actually, because he needs one open tournament norm to become a GM.
yes. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, so I guess um he's probably obviously still gonna try to get that. Um and yeah, we'll see how that goes. I guess he has a couple more weeks. I'm not sure. It's
Hmm.
getting quite close. Maybe he has a month or something.
I think he's
But
going to
yeah.
play one tournament,
Uh-huh.
and then if
Okay.
he does it, then he does it. Otherwise, he may not.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah,
will
that's
be
very
one of the best players in the world. It feels like in the years to come. Do you
yeah.
also feel it after playing against him?
Yeah. Obviously he's very, very talented, especially for his age. He's only 12 years old. I don't know. I guess like in general, reaching such high ratings and strength at such a young age is very good sign for becoming a potential world champion and obviously very strong player. Um, so yeah, I'm sure nothing can really stop him from becoming like one of the world's best if he keeps doing what he's doing. So yeah, I guess being able to score a couple wins against him while he's still lower rated than me is quite nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and actually you managed to. I think this game was very smooth. He. I mean, it looks like an equalish opening, but then he played this move Bishop E3, and already you got a quite a pleasant position.
Yeah, I thought Bishop E3 was probably a quite pleasant surprise. Because I get this Bishop E3 C5 bind. And then I guess I have a pretty good space advantage. White doesn't really have much plans, and Black can just kind of play with his space a little bit. And yeah, I guess once I started expanding with like D4 and um
Yeah, this was very
yeah,
smooth. I think you just played on both wings. This knight h4 g5 also very interesting what you did.
mhm. Yeah, the engine doesn't improve with this, but I think from a practical standpoint, it's very difficult to play against. Kind of cutting off all F4 counterplay.
Hmm.
Um, and then White's knights are kind of clumsy a little bit. So yeah, in general, I thought it was quite smooth. Yeah. And then I was also happy about this Rook C6 move,
Switching.
recapturing the A file. Because if Queen B5 or Queen B4, okay, Queen B4 is Knight E4, but if Queen B5, Black has Rook B6, and then Rook A6, so Rook A6 is inevitable.
Hmm.
Um, and then I got Rook A2 as well, so
Nice.
um,
This was
it's
over
kind of
now.
like yes,
Amazing.
yeah. So I guess that was good.
This was a great win for you. And then you played against Daniil Yuffa here next round. And this one, you were playing with white here,
Yeah, mhm.
and you made
I
this
guess
move h4.
mhm. Yeah. So I guess here was also pretty much the critical moment. White wants to go H5 followed by a move like Bishop B1, try to checkmate along the B1 H7 diagonal. So Black has to act fast, but it's important to figure out how. He played the move Bishop E5, which was a bit of an inaccuracy. It's better to play the move Knight to C7 first. But neither of us actually spotted this move. We were discussing afterwards, trying to find a good defense for Black, but it's important to play Knight C7 before capturing on E5. The point is
If
if a move like bishop b1, black can play bishop e5 now, and the knight gets to e6. Here I guess also queen e6 is good, but yeah. In general, I feel like black should be able to equalize if they play knight c7 first. But when he took and then played knight c7, he gave me this extra option of bishop d7,
oh,
which was a really nice blocking the d file. It reminded me of this Karpov game of bishop a7 in the Roy
nice,
Lopez.
nice. Also,
So yeah, it's kind of like block.
there's a Kasparov game where he
Mhm.
has this pawn on d7 and it
Mhm.
cuts the board into two parts. So here
Yeah,
you actually cut the board not from left to right, but like from top to bottom, sort of.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was really satisfying playing this move. Um, uh, and I got rook d6, rook d1. Black's pieces, I'll just, I guess, a bit passive. Yeah, and here's it's already winning. Queen e3, knight d3, bishop d3. If queen d6, bishop h7. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
cd3.
no.
Yeah, and then rook d6. So yeah, cd3, rook d3, and then from here it's pretty much smooth, I guess. White's rook's all more active than black's. And yeah, I guess rook d8 was probably the last nice moment. And then yeah, white wins queen in game, 2 pawns.
Yeah, do you think like your one of your biggest skills is conversion?
Um, if it's not complicated, then yes, probably. Like the game against Bibisara was
Hmm.
not my best conversion, but
I mean, that
um
one was really tactical and but conversion of extra material, like if you're a pawn up or something, you really do it. Like not in terms of complex positions, but like I've seen people in pawn up positions really struggle to win such positions, but you do it quite smoothly.
so yeah, probably conversion is in simple positions is one of my strengths, yeah. Mm.
Amazing.
Yes.
And did you read some kind of books like Endgame Strategy of Shereshevsky or something like that?
Yes, I have read that book, yeah.
Oh,
I've read a few in-game books, like comprehensive chess endings, and like Galfin's decision making and queen in games, rook in games. So there's lots of different forms of decision making that I've trained as full in games. So yeah, I guess that probably helps a little bit.
I can see a lot of books behind you actually, the where you're seated,
Mhm. Oh
and the
yeah.
and the thing is, modern generation, like many players
Mhm.
don't read books anymore. In fact, I was just interviewing a boy who became a GM, India's 92nd GM, and he said like
Mhm.
he's never read a single book in his life. And I also know Arjun Erigaisi, who is now one of the best in the world. He has hardly read any books. So you are someone who has read books, in spite of being from the very young generation. How did that happen?
Yeah. Actually, so I probably read most of the books that I read were probably from my uh younger generation, my younger self. Probably I spent most of my time reading books when I was a bit younger, maybe like 12, 13. Recently I've been when I do read books, I read like ebooks. I haven't really read many hardcover books because I don't know, I feel like it's probably better probably better to do that. When I do have them, then I definitely use them, but most of the books that I have that I use are ebooks. So I guess I've just been training mainly with ebooks
Hmm.
recently. But yeah, I guess reading with a hardcover book or like just a book in hand is always something special and it helps memorize things better, I think.
Wow. If you don't mind, I would love to just see this, what's behind you.
Oh,
And is there any particular book that you like from there?
yeah, I have quite a few books that I read. Maybe I don't know. I remember I started a lot when I was a bit of a lower rated lower rated player. I spent quite a bit of time reading this
Oh,
book, Sillman's Complete In-Game Course from Beginner to Master. I spent quite a bit of time for my in-games. I guess it's a bit of basic in-games, but I spent quite a bit of time reading this book. And then also I had quite a few tactic books like this, like 5,000 uh puzzles by Polgar or something, chess
5334
combinations.
by
Yeah,
Laszlo
that
Polgar.
book, yeah. 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 And then I guess it's this one, yeah. This one.
Yes, yes. Did
Right
you
now.
solve did you
Yeah.
solve like all of them?
Yeah, I think I finished all of them. I only wrote down about half of the answers though because I don't know, I didn't really like writing down answers. I would just solve them and then check them. But yeah, I think I finished the book, yeah. Um,
Man,
and
you've
then I
done
have some other books.
2545 plus 5334. That's already 7,800 puzzles there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can also see Silman's Reassess Your Chess. Did you read that one as well?
Yes, I think I'm not sure if I finished it, but I do remember reading that. Also, there's some more recent books. Of course, there's like Divorcees in game anymore, but there was also these two books that I've been reading recently. This one, Rock Solid Chess
Oh,
by Tivyakov.
do you like it?
Um, yeah, it's quite instructional. Mainly like the um, positional ideas and motifs in simple positions, I think. Just like having idea of different options and ways to play in positions such as like opposite color bishops. I feel like lots of people underestimate the very interesting values there, as well as this book, Imagination in Chess.
Oh,
I'm not
Pataga
sure.
Prindashvili.
Yes. Mhm.
I
Yeah, I
I
spent a lot of time.
actually solved it when
um,
this was very popular when I was growing up. Uh, and
uh-huh.
and those there are I think 1 star positions, 2 stars, and 3 stars, or
Yes.
maybe it's five
Mhm.
stars. I don't remember.
Yeah, I
But the
think it
one,
went up to 5 star. Mhm.
yeah, the 5 star ones were very very tough for me at that point. I
Yeah,
don't know if I can if I can do better now.
yeah. I actually don't think I could either. I like some of them I would have to skip because I couldn't solve them. But yeah, it was definitely like a very good book for calculation. And imagination, of course. But yeah, that was probably quite another one of my big books. There's also some ebooks, like Perfecto Chess, that
Oh
I
yes,
solved
Vaivolo
quite a few
Keaton.
positions. Yes.
Oh, that was an
Yeah. So
incredible one.
yeah. Mhm.
I think you've
Yeah.
you've seen you've read so many books. That's just insane. It's amazing to know.
Yeah. I have quite a few. Oh yeah, also all of Attack and Chess, by Vukovic.
Oh,
I
that's
have.
a real old one, right?
Yeah, it's
Art
an
of
old book.
Attack by Vukovic.
Yeah. I read, yeah, quite a bit of that book. And yeah, I guess in general, I kind of read books only if I'm interested in the topic, interested in what it has to teach, or if I need it. But yeah, in general, I think I can read when it helps me. So yeah.
Hmm. And why do you have a demo chessboard behind you? Like, do you use that to practice?
Oh, I use it sometimes just when I get uh bold. I just play like put random different openings on
Hmm.
the board when I'm analyzing. So that if I'm like checking stuff, I also have a uh manual board like a
Hmm.
uh real bold over there. But yeah, I guess I just put openings like if in case if I want to check them later.
Mm.
Or like if I don't want to forget about them, then I just put stuff like that on the board just for general memorization, I guess.
Wow.
Or like if someone sends like a puzzle, then I just put it up there so that I can think about it uh whenever I get a chance.
You're
Yeah.
living a full life filled with chess. If this is your room, like it's filled with books, chess set, the demo chess board. So like you are eating, sleeping, and breathing chess. Would that be right to say?
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely my chess room. Yeah.
Mm, amazing.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next game. You're doing really well in this tournament, and you're winning one game after another, and everything's going as per plan. But then suddenly comes Vasily Ivanchuk, and you you go like, I don't know what to say, but in this position, you just go and grab that pawn on b2, which is something
Yeah.
that you wouldn't do usually.
hmm Yeah, so I think this probably the only way to explain it was I trusted my home preparation. So when I played Rook D8, I mixed the lineup with Rook B8. Um, I in my preparation file I had Rook B8 and I misremembered and thought the move was Rook D8. Because it makes more sense. It looks more natural. Especially because after Rook B8, I remember the move was Queen E2, and Queen E2 only makes sense after Rook D8, in my opinion, because you set up the battery along the queen, so the queen moves. And I knew that Queen E2 was the best move, and everything else was worse. Um, so I guess when he played Knight E4, in my mind, I had like the thought that okay, knight e4 isn't queen e2, this should be a dubious move. So I was like, okay, let's punish it. So I took the pawn on b2, and then I actually completely forgot that he could combine rook c2 with knight e5, and then it's already losing, in fact. So it was a case of bad preparation and memorization. But yeah, I mean, his conversion was actually very, very good. He found some really nice resources, like after knight d8, bishop e4, knight f7 was very impressive. Point is, if king f7, then white goes rook c7. Um, So white wants to take the knight, and if bishop, so white also has bishop a4 in the back if rook
That's
d8. Um, and if bishop c6, then white has rook d7, followed by queen f3.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, so those all different kinds of geometrical tactics. So black has to take the rook on c2 and then bishop c2. If king f7, queen f3 again, same idea. Um, and then knight f6, knight d8 was the move that I missed. Um, it was very nice. I it's an easy move to miss, but it's very beautiful. If you think about it, like if queen d5, white has knight e6. So black has no way to defend against like all the threats without weakening his position even more. So I played
Wow.
e5, and then yeah, it's just brutal. He played very, very well. Bishop a4, another best move. So yeah, I guess here he played a bit like a3 was winning on the spot, but what he did was good as
You
well.
mean
So
here?
yeah, I think it was here. A3, bishop a3, rook a1, and queen c2. I think it was. Maybe
You mean queen c2 takes,
maybe it
and
was
then
knight b4 first. Knight b4 instead of queen c2. Yeah, and then if a b4, queen c2.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so this was the tactical resource, but yeah, in general, he played very, very accurately. Queen b1, rook c1. Um, these little moves like h3. Uh, Um, very professional.
He didn't give you
And
any
here I still
chances.
had, yeah, here I still had some hope, like one few last hopes, like knight f2, queen d7, queen f6, king h2, h5. I had one last trap if queen d6, which makes some sense, but and there was knight g4.
Mhm.
Black's already winning actually. Here queen h4, queen e1, and rook f1.
Oh my God.
Yeah, bishop g8, king h8. So black is winning here. And then if knight g4, king g3, instead of hg4, then white has the move. Black has the move queen g5. If queen f8, h4 is checkmate.
No
Um,
way.
and
Wow.
otherwise, what's black transposes and is still winning. But queen d6 is a bit of a
Yeah,
not Ivanchuk would not.
it's not a very basic trap. Yeah, someone could fall into it if not alert.
Sure. Yeah, maybe in blitz. Yeah, yeah. No,
Is
but he's very precise at the end as well. So yeah, he deserved this win much more than I did. So
And at this point, a very crucial round this was, if you think about it, because a loss really sets you back. And you, I think, are
yeah.
already must be thinking about, okay, I can win this, I can, qualify to the Masters, and so on.
Mhm.
And suddenly,
Yeah.
this defeat would have been really not a pleasant feeling, yeah?
Yes. I think like going into this game, I was in clear fourth by half a point. I don't know, like ahead of Suleymanli. Ivanchuk actually at this moment in time was 1.5 points behind.
Hmm.
So I didn't really think of him as being like a potential tournament winner at all before this game. And then because of course I wasn't planning on losing the game, but that those things happen. And then he was already like half a point behind me, 1 point behind the leader. And then like the next round he even went on to win against the leader. So he just kept winning and winning. So it seems like nothing was gonna stop him. But yeah, I guess I just had to try to focus on my last games. There's still 3 games, and fortunately, after this game, actually, there was a rest day again.
Hmm.
Um, so I had an extra day to get over the game and then start thinking about the last 3 games. I still have a chance. I need to. Okay, I realized that I either needed 3 out of 3 or 2.5 if I wanted a realistic chance at winning. So I had started planning um, preparation for decisive openings. Yeah, I wanted to try to get fighting games. But unfortunately, the thing is, I don't play e-foil, so it's difficult to get decisive openings as a default player. But I guess I had to try to just let my opponents take the risks. So,
Hmm. And I
yeah,
think Marc-Andrea Maurizzi really helped you here in the sense that he played like a very interesting and aggressive opening. Not helped, but at least made the game
yes.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very happy when he played Knight E4. Not only because, it makes the game fun, but also because, we're both very tactical players. We both like to calculate, and I knew from here, no matter what the result would be, it would be definitely a decisive game, and I knew it would be a fun game with lots of calculation. So at this point, I was already quite happy. So
And he
yeah, I
went he
guess
went
I played.
full throttle on the attack with h5.
Yeah, yeah, and actually, this attack is justified completely. Because my play was actually quite slow. I played quite a bit dubiously in the
Hmm.
opening. Um, and yeah, here it's already slightly better for black. But then I decided to put a little bit of a trap that I set here with knight fd2. Okay, of course it takes a couple moves to fall for it, but yeah, I guess after h4, which was best, knight e4, d4, knight c3. hg3 was fine. The best move is hg3, but FG3 was more of a, a trap, I guess you could say, simply. I mean, no better way to
You had
explain it,
seen
I
that
guess.
knight takes d4 doesn't work, basically.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Also, at this moment, I remember standing there by my board and seeing lots of players from the Masters section, like Ovind, and like Kaimo, Blue Bomb. They would all walk by my board and like before knight takes d4, and they would all like look at the position like what is going on? Like how did he blunder such a simple tactic? And then making like expressions and stuff. And I started like uh I don't know. It was kind of an interesting moment trying to like keep it together. I had seen that knight takes d4 as a mistake, but I don't know, something about like them all walking by and looking at the board with funny expressions was kind of funny to me. So yeah. And then he played knight d4. So I guess also I was happy about him playing that because again, it makes the game interesting. Like battle from a computer standpoint was queen d7. Um, I mean, queen d7 is a bit of a abnormal move. It doesn't really make any sense. But the positional point is to go queen f7, get out the queen first, and then queen f7, bishop d7, and castle long.
Mm.
That's the human plan, at least the human implementation after queen d7. Um, and white doesn't have play in the meantime. But yeah, after knight d4, knight e4, tactics just all work out in my favor. Um, Queen g4, king f7. Yeah, I mean, there's actually like a ton of very interesting variations that I could go over. I don't know if we have time for it. Um, but yeah, like
Could you give a
king
glimpse
f7.
of something here?
Sure, okay. Yeah, king f7. He mainly started after e5, queen e2. Mm, yeah, queen e2 was a bit of an important move, keeping the queens. So here black has only one move, which is queen d3. Sorry, e3. Queen d3 is one of the moves that we analyzed. There's like three main alternatives to the move that he played. Okay, the move that he played pretty much lost on the spot
He
because,
played bishop e6, yeah,
um,
here.
yeah, I guess we can start with the game because, um, I guess it's quite fast. Bishop
His
e4.
threat is now to take and give a check, but you just
Yeah,
took, and he still went
check.
ahead.
Yeah. He just had a simple oversight.
He missed king f3,
King
I guess.
h2. He saw king f3. He thought after queen c3, I had to play king f2, forgetting that I could just play queen d3.
Mm.
If king f2, it's already a draw. But yeah, I guess the variations in the other lines, king f2, bishop f1 here, um, rook f1, rook h2, bishop g2, queen d4, king e1, queen a1, and we repeat.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know, the variations instead of bishop e6 were very, very insane. It was actually really fun analyzing them with him without the engine, because we could compare thoughts. It's very interesting position, lots of tactics. And I think it's much better for training purposes as well to analyze without an engine. Um, and yeah, I guess so yeah, Queen D3 was one of the moves that we looked at. And then Queen E1 is the critical move, E3, Rook D1, Queen H7, and then H4. It's a bit of a forcing line, and then Bishop G4. So um there's lots of options here. There's only one winning move for white, which is Queen E3, with the point if Bishop D1, Queen E5.
Wow.
This is the only way to win for white.
Wow.
Um,
Nice one.
but we didn't see this, so we were looking at other variations, and they were actually very interesting. Like the move Queen B4 instead of Queen E3. Um, so basically, yeah, white wants to go queen e7. So if e2, queen e7, white's winning, king g6, bishop e4, king h5, queen f7, and then g6, queen f6. Um, so this is winning for white. So he can't play e2, so he has to play, I think it was rook e8. I'm not entirely sure. Rook a e8 maybe. And then like it was engine gave like 0.3 or something for white. But we were also looking at bishop d5 check instead of queen b4. It's another very interesting line. And then king e8, and then queen b4 here. But e2, so here white can force a draw with queen e7, bishop e7, bishop
Oh.
f7, king f8, bishop g6, and then repetition. Uh, so it's a bit of a funny way. But yeah, I guess there's lots of different lines as well as instead of e3, there's also queen d3, there's also e3. I'll just briefly say yeah. So the point is if rook a d1, black goes bishop g4, and if bishop e3, the defensive point is queen e4,
Sorry,
bishop f3 here,
Bishop F. Oh my God. Wow.
queen e4. Yeah, so it's like a double pin,
Such a
and
nice
then
one.
yeah, rook d7, king e8, and black's holding. So it's like these are all only moves. So it's very, and also if rook f3 instead of bishop f3. Also black has to put himself in the pin as well, queen e4. Like it looks very, very scary, but it's the only move again. Like just lining yourself up straight with the bishop. But these resources, there's also rook f6. I don't know, there's so many different instead of rook f3.
You mean
It was, I think. Um, there's so many different like ideas. So the point is if king f6, queen f1. So gf6 is forced. Um, and then bishop f3. So now queen e4 doesn't work because of rook d7. Um, and if king e6, then white goes bishop e4
BG4?
and rook e7 mate.
Oh my God.
Um, and then so black has to, and if king g8, then bishop e4 and bishop d5 mate. Um,
Oh
as
my
well.
God.
So there's like mates everywhere.
You are like
And then
solving multiple puzzles inside the game,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, it's actually like a very, very interesting calculation analysis puzzle position. So it was very, very fun to analyze with him. He was obviously very great sport having the willingness to analyze and spend time after a game like this. So it was very, very, very fun. But yeah, I guess there's lots of more lines, but there's no need to go into detail. Probably just better for home analysis if you want.
I
Uh,
think
but
we can leave it at that. That people who are really aiming to become strong players can look at this position more carefully and try to analyze. It'll be fun.
sure, yeah. Um, yeah, of course. Also, one extra thing: if bishop f5, then rook f5, exchange sacrifice. I'll just throw that out there. Queen a1, rook f1, and black's king is way too weak. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much
Amazing.
it for this game. I guess.
Yes,
Yeah,
and I
very
think this game really helped you to get back on track. And in the next round, you were playing the top seed of the tournament, rating wise,
Mhm.
Velimir Ivic, and
Mhm.
you managed to hold him with the black pieces. It felt like it was some sort of prep, or was it over the board?
Yeah. So this Queen C8 move was a novelty. I had analyzed it by myself, of course, with the help of Stockfish, a couple months before at Grand Swiss. And yeah, I guess I finally got to use it here.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, this Queen E2 stuff, was one of the lines that I remembered. Um, so yeah, pretty much the whole game was basically preparation. Um, I mean, I knew basically the ED5 bishop E3. I knew rook E3 was zeros, so I didn't really analyze much. But yeah, it's pretty simple to figure out. If rook E5, rook D8. So um, yeah, point is like C full C6, and then Black already has some pressing chances. Some
It's very interesting
I
that
don't know.
even if you get back a pawn, you will still be a pawn down, but you are
Yeah,
trying to press because of the strong bishop, yeah?
yeah. Like for example, Queen B6 or something, or Queen B full, CD5, C5, D full. Um, Black already has a passed pawn, targets the long diagonal. It's very unpleasant for white to play, at least from a practical standpoint. So yeah, he decided to play C full, and then Black, I guess I found this little resource. I knew the eval was zeros, so it was, I guess, a bit easier to find the moves if you know the evaluation. And then so Bishop A4 was a nice little important move. I guess Black wants Bishop C2, so White has to play Queen F1. Not has to, but and we just repeat back and forth. So
Nice.
um,
Were you comfortable
yeah, I
with
guess
this result here? Because, you were not sure what would happen, right, in the tournament. So,
yeah. Honestly, I wasn't too satisfied with the result because I wanted to get a fighting game. I knew I kind of, I don't know, like later on when I got back to my room, I found out like the results were actually, the other results went in my favor. Like Ivanchuk had drawn this round against Faustino Oro as white, and then Aydin had won against Maurizzi. So I guess I was kind of fine with my result after seeing how the other people did. But I guess in general, at first I was a bit disappointed that the game fizzled out so quickly. But playing this line, I had nothing better to hope for. So yeah.
and then the all important last round, you are playing white against Erwin Lamy, a tough
Mhm,
opponent, a veteran in Wijk Aan Zee. How did you
mhm.
approach this? Also, 2 hours early than usual. It's never pleasant when you have a nice routine going.
Yeah. I guess for this game specifically, I guess I know Owen is he's, yeah, very obviously very well trained. He knows a lot of history to the game, I'm sure as well. Um, I don't, I didn't really know what to expect, honestly. I checked his games a little bit, saw he had been playing a huge variety of stuff, even just in this tournament alone. He played like Slav, King's Indian, Knight of Six E6. So I didn't know what to expect. And then of course he played another opening he to add to it. He played
You went the
Grunfeld.
Grunfeld,
So
yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I guess I just kind of wanted to get a fighting game, so I played this H4 line. I don't know. I had some brief notes that I remember from Olio. I didn't remember them precisely, but I knew that H4 was definitely one of the more fighting lines if I wanted to win. So
It
I
was a
thought, why
bold
not?
choice, no? Like you could have played solidly because let's imagine a draw here and you tie for the top spot and so on. That's fine, perhaps.
Yeah. hmm Yeah, I knew. Well, I knew Ivanchuk. I had no chance on tiebreaks against Ivanchuk because they use direct encounter as the first tiebreak. So Ivanchuk had won against both me and Aiden. So if I drew and Ivanchuk won, then I would lose automatically. Um, but yeah, I guess I kind of had to play for a win because anything can happen. I think I also had worse tie breaks than Aiden if I calculated correctly. So I knew I had to just try to win my game and hope for the best. So I guess I just went for this H full line because, it's the last round of the tournament, nothing really to lose. I want to win, so yeah. That's H5. Yeah. I didn't remember this line at all, actually. Uh, I guess it's quite simple for white to play, fortunately. Just like develop the pieces, prevent black's counterplay, queen c1 preventing knight f4. Actually, here I had an oversight at first. I wanted to play g4, which is just a mistake because my idea was if knight f6 to play bishop f4, but then black can just take on c3. And then
Mm.
I completely forgot that the knight's just taking. Okay, like white still has king f1, but then bishop e5, and then black's just winning simply. So then I realized, oh wait, maybe my position's not so great. But then fortunately I had bishop e3. And then yeah, I guess around here, like king d2 was an important move. Otherwise, black gets everything he wants.
Mm.
And I guess, yeah, around here, I was already starting to feel a bit confident. But the only thing that I did wrong was I spent way too much time.
Do you think
Around this
black could
point, I
have
was already done.
kept the queens now that your king is on d2, like something like queen b8?
Yeah, I considered it, but I think in general, keeping the queens helps white actually because after king c2, let's say, white is already threatening e5 together with g4, and black's king is actually much more unsafe than white's king because castling just gets it mated. So um, yeah, I guess I was expecting a queen trade when it happened. So um, yeah, knight f6, e5, g5, an important resource, knight g5, knight e5. And yeah, I guess around here, I was like, okay, what can I do? He defended well. It'll be a draw, but what it happens. So and then and then he played rook g8, and I was like, oh wait, maybe I still have some chances. And I took on a6, rook a6, g3. And even though it's like very, very dry, and also I was down a ton of time. I had like 5 minutes for the next 13 moves, and he
Mm.
had about 30 minutes. But of course, best thing I can do is trust in my blitz skills. And I also like it's fortunately White's moves are very simple in games like this. So it was quite easy to make moves, fast moves, put the king to safety. Um, and yeah, I guess around here, knight a4, here was the critical moment. Um, Knight takes d5 was a mistake. Um, he should play the move c4, um, which is very difficult to spot. Oh, even if you spot it, it's difficult to play because it just looks like it was sacking a pawn.
Rook
But then
d5,
at the
yeah.
end, rook c4, bc,
Just take.
yeah, like just sacks the pawn for no reason, plays rook e2, and the engine claims it's equal.
Wow.
It's like
Not easy.
not very practical. And also, the only reason he played knight d5, I think, is because he was just in a shock moment after knight a4. His initial intention was to play rook d4 instead of knight d5, but that just gets mated after rook d4, rook c8, knight b6, rook c6.
Oh.
So
It's no
I guess after
coincidence
he
that
realized,
we see so many mating like these ideas
yeah,
in your games. Yeah, like it's incredible.
yeah, it's funny. There's actually another mate idea coming later in this game, but yeah, I guess there's so many mating nets. Knight c5. Like here, I felt like I was already close to winning from a practical standpoint because my moves are so simple. I get his king out into the open, start targeting his pawns. Um, I guess the flow is pretty smooth. He actually set a nice trap heel, knight f4 check on move 40. I had a couple seconds to decide where to go with the king, and there's only one move that wins, um, which is king f3. The point is if king f1, black has this move, rook h5,
Wow.
the only saving move. And moves like knight d3 and knight e6 just don't work simply. Knight d3, he can play king d7, yeah. If knight f4, rook h1, and if gf4, rook d3. So he's already fine if after rook h5. So I have to go king f3, which I fortunately played. And then knight g6. And then here I made it to move 40, so I had time to recollect my thoughts. So I spent about like 10 minutes and then figured out that knight e4, rook c8 was winning. And he'll come to the last meeting, net after rook f5. My initial intention and the most logical move
King
is to
G4.
play king g4,
King G4. Oh,
um,
you can get mated now, it seems.
and then h5. So it's still fine for white, but it's not winning because of h5. If king
Mm.
f5, rook d5, checkmate in the middle of the board. So it's just like so many mating nets, yeah.
Beautiful.
No way to avoid them. But yeah, I was lucky that I had king e3. And then yeah, rook d1, rook c7, and yeah, knight c5. So I wanted to exchange and then yeah.
Wow. Whoa, what a game. And what a tournament. And in fact, going over these games with you made it even more exciting because it put into perspective what you managed to achieve, what was going on in your mind, the way you, prepared for these games and so on. So thank you so much, Andy, for, taking us through this entire journey of such an important event.
Oh, yeah, thank you. It was very exciting and it was very fun for me as well. I guess I might have not explained some things as well as I could have, but yeah, in general, I think it was quite exciting, the whole thing. So
And now you get to play the
yeah.
Masters next year. And we saw this year, like Thaidai one, who had won the Challengers last year, was, he couldn't win a game. He was clearly struggling.
Hmm.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, 7 draws and 6 losses or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, so it's not easy, yeah, in the Masters section. What
Yeah.
do you look at it as a challenge for you? Do you look at it as this year you have to now rapidly improve to do well in the Masters? How do you see it?
Yeah, of course the tournament's gonna be a huge challenge for me, but I also see it as a huge opportunity to show and see what I can do against the world's best. So I'm very excited to get even just the opportunity to play against uh the greats. And yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm just gonna try to see how much I can improve between now and then and try to play my best, and I'm really excited for it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are going to be watching you closely there. Any tournaments lined up for you in this year?
Um, I don't have a schedule planned yet. I do have one tournament in a couple weeks here in the United States, St. Louis Masters.
Oh,
Starts in 2 weeks, I guess, or 2.5 weeks. So that's pretty much my only plan at the moment. We'll see if I have some other tournaments coming up, but maybe some tournaments like Sharjah,
hmm,
um, and some other strong opens in Europe. So yeah, we'll see. Seems like
interesting.
it'll be a good year.
And finally, I want to ask you, I've been in touch with Abhimanyu Mishra in his journey of becoming GM and a strong player. He's now 2600 plus. One of the things that
Mhm.
he has always found trouble with is sponsorship, support, and so on. How has it
Mhm.
been for you in general? Has it been also a problem in that regard?
Yeah. unfortunately, like there's not much support here in the US. At least at the moment, I guess Rex Sinquefield is probably the biggest supporter in the US, partnered with St. Louis Chess Club. They support and hold lots of strong tournaments in the US, which is very great. So I guess that's probably helps a lot. At least like they have huge prize funds for tournaments like US Junior and stuff. But yeah, as for corporate sponsorships, we don't really have any chess supporting corporate sponsors in America. So that's probably one of the biggest difficulties, especially because we have to travel with an adult, so it costs 2 times more, I guess, to travel and stuff. But yeah, in general, that's probably the biggest difficulty for chess players who want to make it to the next level. So yeah, I guess that's probably.
So for you right now, the major way in supporting your career is through the prize money that you win in tournaments.
Yeah, I would say so. Probably a mix of that. Also, my dad has a job, so he also helps with that as well. So that's good.
And do you plan on like becoming like an absolute professional right now at chess, or are you also thinking about something else?
I mean, I'm gonna try my best to see if I can become a professional chess player. Of course, it's very difficult to get from the level that I'm at to the level where you can make it into a full career. And it obviously takes a lot of work and effort and help and support. So I guess I'm gonna just try, see where the next couple years takes me, and we'll see how it can go.
Well, I wish you all the best, Andy, and thank you so much for spending all the time with us. It was great fun.
Yeah, thank you. It was great fun for me as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and thank you for having me.
Thank you.